You're listening to The Main Street Deal, part of Main Street Media. I'm Jordan. It's Thursday, May the 7th. Today's story is about Corey Mullins, who bought a struggling HVAC company in South Florida for $100,000 and a phone number that had been ringing since 1975. A year before he made that deal, Corey Mullins thought he was about to take over his family's HVAC business. He'd worked the trade for 20 years. He knew the equipment, knew the customers, knew the routes. The succession plan was settled. Then, around Christmas of 2021, the family deal fell apart. Corey walked away with no business, no customers, and a kid in his 20s watching him try to figure out what came next. What came next was two moves at once. Move one. He started his own shop from scratch. He named it Cool by Design and put the truck on the road in Oakland Park, Florida in early 2022. No customers, no brand, no phone number anyone recognized, just 20 years of trade experience and a will to survive. Move two. He started looking for a competitor to buy. He found McConnell Air Conditioning, a small shop in South Florida that had been on the wrong side of the curve for a long time. By the time Corey looked at it, McConnell was doing under $200,000 a year in revenue and was down to a single technician. On most spreadsheets, that's a business worth zero. The owner was tired. The book had shrunk every year. There was no growth story, no asset list worth fighting over, and no buyer pool clamoring at the door. Corey saw something everyone else missed. The McConnell phone number had been the same number since 1975. For nearly 50 years, that number had been screen printed onto stickers and slapped onto every air handler, every condenser, every thermostat the shop had installed across South Florida. Tens of thousands of units. Every one of them, when they failed, would eventually have a homeowner squinting at a faded sticker and dialing the number on it. The number was a lead generation engine that had been running for half a century. McConnell wasn't being sold for its current revenue. McConnell was being sold for the call volume that the brand asset would still produce. Even after 50 years, he bought it for $100,000, financed it through an SBA 7A loan with $15,000 down. SBA-backed acquisition lending was the only way the math worked at that size. A $100,000 conventional acquisition loan from a bank wouldn't have been worth anyone's time to underwrite. The 7A program made it possible. Then came the close, and the close was the easy part. There was almost nothing to transfer. A phone number, a license, a tired van. The hard part started the next week. Corey ran McConnell and Cool by Design as one operating company. The McConnell phone number fed leads. Cool by Design did the work. The single McConnell technician became the second tech on the Cool by Design roster. Every job that came in through the legacy number got serviced by the new shop with the new branding shown on the invoice. The customer relationship was rebuilt one service call at a time, but the lead never had to be bought from Google. Year one was hard. The legacy book of business was thin and the customer base had drifted, but the calls kept coming. Slowly, the new branding stuck. He partnered with a marketing firm that specialized in the trades, layered digital lead generation on top of the legacy phone number, and started showing up on every comfort consultation himself. The numbers tell the rest. 3 years after the McConnell deal closed, the combined company was doing just over $2 million a year in revenue. Margins were strong. The brand had been rebuilt, and in under 4 years from the day he wrote the first SBA application, Corey sold the combined company for $3.2 million. The turning point in this story isn't the day he bought McConnell. It's the day he decided that the asset he was buying wasn't the cash flow on the page. The cash flow on the page was practically nothing. The asset was a phone number stuck to 50 years of equipment in the field. He valued the right thing. $15,000 of his own money, 4 years of hard work, and a willingness to rebuild a brand on top of a half-century-old phone number turned into a multi-million-dollar exit. Here's the lesson, and this is the part to take with you if you're searching right now. Listings are written around the income statement, but income statements describe the past, the brand, the phone number, the Google review profile, the customer database, the fleet of decaled trucks, the URL. Those describe the future. Sometimes the most valuable thing in a listing is something the seller has stopped charging for. A franchise territory, a 50-year-old phone number, a domain that still ranks, a maintenance agreement book that hasn't been repriced in a decade. One concrete thing to do this week: pull up the 3 or 4 listings on your short list that you've been on the fence about. For each one, write down what creates the next dollar of revenue, not what created last year's revenue, what creates the next call, the next quote, the next sale. If the answer is that the owner picks up the phone, then the owner is the asset and the business is fragile. If the answer is something durable that will keep producing leads after the owner is gone, a brand, a contract, a number on a sticker, that's the deal worth a second look. That's it for Thursday. Find all of Main Street Media's shows wherever you listen. Subscribe, leave a review, and I'll see you Monday in the deal room.